Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Amy from iTradeAIMS.net, AIMS Stress-Free Trading. Today is the 7th of June. This is my Sunday chart analysis. We are going to look at some of the major currency pairs on the daily and the hourly charts. We're going to look at what happened this week, especially on Friday, which was NFP. Market moves quite a lot during NFP, especially the last one, because there was a big change in US employment. So the market moved and that creates opportunity. So we are going to look at some of the pairs and see what happened during the week and if there's any opportunities that we can trade tomorrow or during the rest of the week. So let's begin. Okay, so the first chart that we're looking at is the EURUSD. This is the daily chart, and we can see that starting the 25th of May, when it tried to actually penetrate this box high up there and then pull back down, it created this reversal candle, which was a doji. As you can see on the AO, it was a monarch as well, but it was against the purple, so it wouldn't have printed anything. But this was an early indication of a 1-2, so that would be your 1 and 2. So I wouldn't be trading it here on the daily chart, but when it broke over here and then especially the next candle here, from this point onwards, it becomes a clear cut, especially above this level. It becomes a clear cut uptrend for you on that time frame. So what I would do is that when I see a market that does something like this, so first of all, we saw that it created this range after the pandemic, gyration up and down. This is where something was about to happen. It was going down, but then it was rejected at these levels and price went up. Came here, rejected at these levels, price went down, could not penetrate these levels. Let's draw another box here. And then it stays sideways, and then it created this box. But even up to here, it wasn't clear if it was out of the range. This candle confirmed it was out of the range. The next few days were your chances. It was a chance for you to take any kind of a trade on a lower time frame. So what I would do is that I would go to an hourly chart and anything above here. So as you can see here, this would be a nice lovely long for you. Here it would produce M15 trades inside it. So when I see a market like this around this time, which is the 10 o'clock UK, so if tomorrow I'll be looking for, taking a break out of this box up here and go for 20 to 30 pips. And then it produced this beauty of a setup here. So that's on the 2nd of June. Pretty nice setup one. So you got something out of this. Some people also have taken this trade on Thursday. Your stop loss would be just 32 pips and goes up. So what's happening right now is that if we go back to the daily chart, we can see there's a strong kind of a rejection candle. It is a fruit candle down. So if you are into reversals or if you take fruit trades, this would be a signal for you to go short here. Below this, stop loss will be up there. In most cases, market will do something like, it will probably come here and then go back. So if it tests it's here and creates a fake out somewhere like that, creates another pin bar or a reversal candle, then in that case it becomes even more strong and it will continue to go down. So see what it does this week. Apart from that, there isn't much opportunity, but if you look at this candle and then you go to the M15 chart, you could probably potentially look for some shorts here, but it's going to be risky. So the next chart I would look at is the pound dollar GBPUSD. This is the daily chart. We can see that it has now cleared the range. So similar to the EURUSD, not very similar, but not very identical, but similar. It had only one move down, whereas EURUSD went all the way back up. It didn't. It came here, then created a low, then went back up, and then, as you can see, this should have then either continued down or after creating this box low, ideally if it was to go down, it should have broken this, which it did here, but did not continue. And so when it did, when it broke the range, came back, this was the major test, which was failed by this candle. So this candle came up, closed above this bar. So now price closed above the red line of the gator and then created another box. So anything above this box then made it an uptrend. That was an uptrend for this. So it is still not a clear uptrend, but it's still moving up. So as you can see, price has now bounced off these levels, and now you have these support and resistance levels here as well. So it is in a zone. So you want the market to actually go above those levels or go below this level. So if it comes below this, it will probably come to the green line. So if you go to the hourly chart, what you see is this. So if tomorrow it stays like so, and then in Frankfurt open, you go to the M15 chart, if the market kind of sets up over here, you can take a buy up there. So let's see what happens with this. The next chart I will look at is the pound yen. Now the pound yen, this is the hourly chart, created a beautiful hunt seed signal on Friday, but this is that, you know, you have to wait for the NFP, one of the biggest news. Otherwise, if you go to the daily chart, we can see it's a very nice clear pattern that price, when Gator was sleeping and there was a fresh cross happening, this candle closed outside. So June actually started as a proper uptrend for pound yen. So let's mark this after this date, which is the 1st of June. If you go to the hourly chart, all you'll see is price moving up. So this can be your trade. You can trade long here at Frankfurt Open. You can trade long here. You could trade long here. So when you have the price like so, above Gator, above box, and it closes outside, drop to H1 and look for setup ones. So do we have anything for the M15 chart tomorrow? We certainly have something. If this market stays like so up to, let's say, take it there, and it does this, so we could probably take a long trade up here if it stays. So we'll see if the market kind of stays sideways like so, then at Frankfurt Open we can take a long, but it would depend on what happens overnight. The next chart is the dollar yen. Now that was, there are some trades. Oh yeah, there were some lovely trades we took on. So this was a, I'm just seeing a trade in there, so I'm just going to scroll back to see what that, oh yeah, I remember now. We had taken a trade on a news trade, never mind that. So what we see on the daily chart, that after staying sideways again in June, it is in a strong uptrend. Let me refresh the template. So it's going up, and we should be looking for long setups. So if I go to the hourly chart, what we see here is a setup one. Let me draw a few lines in there. You can see this is the wave 1 and 2. That's your 3. That's your 4. You can see a cross of 0 line here, and that is your 5. So this is a pretty good pattern that's going on up there, but it could still be that this is a 3 up together. As you can see, it's hit target zone 1. So when it's done that, what you need to do is to wait for it to set up again. So maybe it does a day or two's pullback, or maybe it will just continue to go up. Let's see if we would have an opportunity for the M15 chart. Now I know that the 1 to 5 has been completed, but it is an uptrend as well at the same time. So if the market stays sideways like so, and if it stayed sideways during the Asian session, then we could probably take a trade up there during the Frankfurt Open or at the London Open. What else can we look at? Okay, let's go through all of these trades. The euro pound. Euro pound, there was a little trade we took on that. Let's go to the daily chart. So as we can see, it's kind of like the opposite of the pound dollar. So it went really strong up during the initial. So basically what it means is that pound lost its value against the euro, and then it went down. It created a setup zero here. It went up. Right now it's inside the gator with a strong kind of well, I can't even call it an engulfing candle. If you go to the hourly chart, what we see is that strong price move down. Now, depending on what euros are doing, which we know that the euros are going up and pulling back. So if the euro was to pull back, and we know that the pounds have some bullish tendency, if that was the case, then this would create a pretty good setup one on the M15 chart around this level. So we will look at it and see around this time. Not this time actually, this time around here, which would be 7 o'clock in the morning, Frankfurt open. We could see that if it breaks further down, it would be a nice setup one in there. The next one is a Swizzy. So Swizzy, this is an interesting story here. I'd like to talk about this one. So if you look at the Swizzy, it's been very, very sideways during these 6 to 7 weeks. Then it breaks here, kind of telling you, okay, I'm ready to drop. But the next candle rejects that idea, price goes back into the range, and when that happens, let me bring my arrows. So this happens, then this goes up, then it creates this box low. Any break of this box low would mean maybe the trend is continuing down, but these levels are strong enough. So as you can see, this first candle of this month created a doji, but could not penetrate those highs as well. So this level is pretty strong. As you can see, one more time, then again, and then one more time. So even on NFP, price went up, this level was still strong enough. So this is an interesting situation on this. So if you go to the hourly chart, you can see these levels. Let me go back to the D1, create this line here. And then if you go to the hourly, you can see we have a strong, famous kind of setup setting up, but there would be a potential problem with this, which is this is a strong resistance. So what you would do is to wait for price to actually cross that level, maybe kind of come up there and retest it, and then when it sets up with a tight box, you can take a long up there. Righty. And next, let's look at the Australian USD. So the Australian dollar, after the drop, you can see a beautiful hunt seed signal followed by another seed. If you took this seed, your stop loss would be 80, and you could easily have grabbed 600 pips on that. So anyway, it's been going up, and now it's even gone above the previous pandemic levels. This is where formally, well, ideally here, this is where the uptrend started, but this is like proper confirmed. So if you look at these two candles, these are really my favorite pattern. This is called the Waltz pattern. So you have a trend candle followed by a doji kind of a pause candle, and then a really nice seed. This is really a nice way of trading. If you see that the market has cleared itself and it's clear it is going, gator is open, AO is above zero line, and then you see this trend candle that breaks out of the box, and then it is followed by a doji or an inside candle. This gives you a very low risk, high reward opportunity. So here you would have a 94, a 95, or a 90 pip stop loss, and you would be sitting at around 300 pips profit with stop loss just below this. So 250 locked in at the risk of say $1,000 or let's say $100 here. You would have locked in about $250 profit, and it can still go up. So this is a really nice idea. And all of these seeds like this turn into a nice setup one on the hourly chart as well. If you go to the hourly chart and follow that line, you can see that it was some sort of a setup. If I take you to the 4-hour chart, again here you have a blue dot, gateway is open, you have a sideways box. So above this box here at the start of the week, you had an 80 pip, or let's say, or 80 pip trade, which you could still be following it. Your stop loss would be below this box. So that's another idea that you can pursue in future. And next one is New Zealand dollar USD. Similar situation, but it was really nice and clear. As you can see, there was a sideways box, and as it was cleared, it was followed by sideways candles. It waited. This clearly shows that the market does wait for the new month. You can see it opened up, but then even those 3 candles didn't do anything until it was the first day of the month, and it started going up. So if I go to the 4-hour chart, as you can see, if you were following this, this was your cue to actually go long last week, and you would have a stop loss of 86 and still long because it's just going up and trailed the boxes. Next one is dollar CAD, and I think I will probably end it here. This was an interesting setup, but I think it made me pay a rent here and then a small rent here, and then it went down. But I think I caught this cherry afterwards. But it wasn't interesting. It was interesting. We found it, but sometimes you see a setup, but it just doesn't move nicely. So what it was is that for a couple of months I've been following this pair. Like all of the other Forex pairs on the daily charts, it's just been going sideways. And when it created this level, I remember talking about this quite a few times in a video, saying if the tail was out here, if this tail came down like this, then this would have been a nice buy signal, but it wasn't for me, and I was right about that. But obviously when the market then breaks below these levels, we clearly see these 2 levels were strong. It breaks it, comes here, then takes those. Can you see the same pattern? 3 pause days. Was just waiting for the next month, and as the month open, it drops. So exactly like the opposite of the New Zealand dollar example we looked at. If you look at the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart had an entry opportunity over here, or this cherry or this seed. Wasn't the clearest of setup 1 over here. This was pretty interesting here, but then this made it ugly, and then this did not move the way we wanted it. But if we go to the M15 chart, it's already kind of triggered here, but let's monitor these levels and see what it does around these levels. If it stays around these levels, around Frankfurt Open or the London Open, we could probably look for some more shorts. If not, then it will begin its journey back towards the purple. So these are the levels that are happening right now. Usually, whatever is the outcome of the NFP, the week or the month, or the next few days at least, markets would follow in that direction. So that is it. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when there's a new video. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for joining us. I usually do a Sunday chart analysis for the rest of the week, and I upload it on Sunday. Most Sundays it happens, and then during the week you will find my videos about various opportunities. And also remember to follow me on TradingView, where you can, the link is in the description, where you can find some free trading signals and analysis on a daily basis. So there we go. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.
Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if yes, please hit the like button. Do you have any questions or ideas for upcoming videos? Then leave a comment. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any future videos. See you next time.